My name is Diana Morgan, and I am VP of Regulatory and Government Affairs for Nutrabolt, which makes brands such as Cellucor, C4, Extend by day, and then by night I am founder and chief fun officer for What's Up, What's Ups, and that's industry networking events that we do all across the country. Growing up with my dad, he was very into health and wellness back in the late 80s. And he had this gym that he made in our attic where he would bench press and then read a muscle and fitness magazine. And then he would have his Joe Eater protein shake and wash that down with the Solgar VM75. So it was really a big influence on my dad and growing up in the late 80s and that fitness culture, late 80s, early 90s, and I really loved all of it. And fast forward to when I was graduated with my bachelor's, the very first company I worked for after I graduated was Solgar. They were based in New Jersey, and I always remember the legacy of they were founded in 1947, and my dad was a huge advocate. So it really came full circle from when I was a little kid to when I grew up. I oversee global, and that's just not only in the US, it's Canada, it's international regions like Korea and Australia. So the regulatory framework differs from country to country. And so whether it's reviewing labels or formula cards or specifications for products we're launching in the US, or working on getting products registered internationally, that's a big part of the regulatory position. But then also from the government affairs side, there's a lot going on in the US right now with laws being proposed and states imposing their own restrictions on who can sell supplements and what age. So working very closely with our trade associations to help push down some of those laws that are being proposed and also promote other laws that are being presented. The biggest obstacle right now is a lot of the state-led initiatives, and that's what I was mentioning before about a lot of these states are popping up different laws that are putting restrictions on certain nutrition products, like for muscle building or weight loss to a certain population. So really working with our government bodies and helping with lobbyists to push down those laws that are popping up. So it's really fighting for industry. Right now, the media really portrays the supplement industry as unregulated. Dietary supplements will kill you, they're unsafe. So really working together with our trade associations to put out a positive message that there are very responsible companies in this industry, Nutrabolt being one of them. We conduct clinical trials on our own products. We have Dr. Chris Lockwood that he's working tirelessly to make sure that we have the science to substantiate our claims, but that also we're taking consumer safety into consideration as we're formulating our products. So while we're doing the clinical trials, we're also assessing those customers for the safety of the product as well. So really taking a leadership position against the false narrative that media is playing with the dietary supplement industry. I think we're going to be seeing a lot more in terms of FDA interaction with the industry, given the current political landscape. We've seen just recently in the past few months that FDA has updated the definition of healthy. They've removed red number 3 as an acceptable food colorant very recently. They also have a proposed rule for front of pack labeling. So I think this is going to be a trend that we're going to see a lot more interaction with FDA and giving industry more resources to be able to make products that we can make better claims on. So I think it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen in the next few months, if RFK gets confirmed and what impact that is going to have on FDA. So I think a lot more momentum is coming. Yeah, so a lot of people know the origin story of Expo West getting canceled in March of 2020, and that's when we decided let's do some industry events, low key, outdoors. The name What's Up with Subs actually started even before that. So I started doing these newsletters when I worked for Pfizer Consumer Healthcare, Emergency, Centrum, Caltrate, and I would create these What's Up with Subs newsletters, and I would send this email out internally within Pfizer to the sales team, marketing, innovation, product development, just to keep everyone aware of what's going on in the supplement industry, and whether that's enforcement on companies getting in trouble for something, FDA coming out with a proposed rule or a final rule on things that may impact the industry, or even just different products that competitors might be coming out with, like, hey, this company has something that's pretty cool, you might want to look at it, or look at a company that could be getting sued for something because they're making claims that wouldn't be okay from a regulatory perspective. So it actually started just as a educational newsletter that I wanted to give insights or a behind the curtain look at what's going on within that regulatory framework. And then fast forward to a few years later, that's when I held the first event that was during COVID, and really just trying to get people together to celebrate the industry and our industry friends and family. So you guys know that I love NuLiv. You guys are awesome. You do such a great job at branding raw materials. It's very much, with branding, everyone thinks about the finished product brand and, like the C4s of the world or the ghosts of the world. But you guys do a really great job at branding raw materials, and that takes a lot of creativity and passion for this industry. And because of, just like the science that also goes behind all those raw materials, it provides me as a regulatory professional a level of comfort knowing, if I'm getting something from NuLiv, I am pretty confident they're going to have all their ducks in a row, from the science to, the GRAS affirmations, or if it's in Canada, the NPN. So I knew coming here, I was going to get to learn a lot more about the history behind NuLiv, and I learned some of that today when Richard was speaking about your founder and then the founding story. So it's really great to put more background and a personal touch on a company that we do so much work with.